Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to this Sunday School webinar, which we are doing every Sunday. We're holding one of these webinars every Sunday, almost every Sunday. I think we're doing it now for, well, it's a long time. And I hope you get something out of everyone, because there is something new in every webinar. If you just have an open mind and you are willing to learn, because a closed mind will never learn anything. And that's why we're here. According to myself, anyway, I think that, the big thing is to learn stuff while we're here on this planet, which is traveling through space, whatever, who knows. Anyway, so if you're new, this is an educational, motivational, inspirational webinar for you. And it does not attach to any specific things or denominations, or, it's purely principle-based teachings. And you would probably recognize some of the stuff if you've been around for a while and listening to the great ones like Miles Monroe or Bob Harrison, Les Brown. And these guys are friends of mine. And I've learned a lot from many people. Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is, one of the favorites, because he could put stuff in one sentence with few words, but wow, what a content, what a guy, what a legacy he left behind. Yeah, you can still go online and listen to him. Wonderful people. Anyway, so let's get into this webinar, this Sunday School webinar, and the latest, what is it, 4 Sundays or something, we've been doing the principles of the laws. And I will continue do a different one today, but we'll connect into the law of here and now, which was included in one of the webinars that we've been doing. So I will do, some things that I've been thinking about lately, and I hope this will help you guys. Wherever you are. And the big things is okay, let me see here what's going on. So the big thing with personal development, that is that it's about you. It's not about anyone else, but people around you will get helped, like a byproduct of you helping you. And the thing is that it's impossible to change other people or situations, because the only thing we can really change is ourselves. And when you get that principle down, it's astonishing, it's amazing what we can do just by changing the way we think and learning new stuff. And the law of here and now mean that there is nothing else. It is just here and now. So, of course we have a memory. We can go back in time and we can, think about stuff that has happened to us, and that can actually affect us, big or small. or we can plan for the future. We should not forget we are setting goals, we're planning for the future, but we're not living in the future. We're planning for the future. We're not living in the past. We can go back and look and have it like a rear view mirror and said, okay, yeah, I saw what happened there when I did that. So instead of doing that, I will change my thinking or my acting, and I would do this time. I will do this instead. So that's how it works. We can use it as a rear view mirror, as a compass, what to do or not to do. So the law of here and now is pretty simple. It's amazing that astonishing actually, that this should be the first thing that we learn in school. I think that that the law of here and now. But of course, they don't want us to have that education, so we have to find it through business and through other. Now I saw that I have misspelled a word here, so bear with me. I'm dyslexic, so I can't even see. I see afterwards sometimes that I misspelled, but I misspelled yesterday. So if you want to keep on hanging to that, you can do that, but you can't change in yesterday. It's impossible, okay? And you can't change in tomorrow. It's also impossible. So you can only change where? In the now. So the law of here and now is not only it's impossible to live in another way, but many people do. Many people do. So if you understand this simple thing, it's going to be to your help for the rest of your life. That nothing will or can affect you if you don't let it. What? I'm not saying that bad stuff not can happen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you don't let stuff interfere, let's say something bad has happened, you can turn your thoughts and say, instead of say, oh, if instead of going to victim mode and say, look at me, I'm always this unlucky, it always happens to me. Have you heard people talk like that? Yeah, there's many people talk like that, and they will actually fulfill that prophecy of themselves, because it can never be in another way than the way they think. So if they think that there are victims and bad stuff will happen to them, bad stuff will happen to them. I'm not saying that bad stuff will not happen to people who think in positive way, because it could, it will, and it certainly. But as long as you understand that you are in control of your thinking, that you are the master, you can choose what you should think about things. Okay? Let's make a simple example so you understand that your thoughts will either become your prison or your passport to freedom. So someone scratched your car, okay? And you come out to the parking lot and it's a big scratch on the door. So victim mode would be, oh, look at this, it always happens to me. And look how much I'm gonna pay for the new repair, or repaint it, or whatever. Another way of thinking is, maybe someone just made a mistake and they ran into my car, and maybe they will call me later, and maybe they won't call me later, because it really doesn't matter, because what does this matter in the big era of my life, this little scratch? So you can choose two ways of thinking. Or you can go, I have insurance, doesn't matter. Or, what will it matter in 100 years? This little scratch. So I know it's a simple example, and maybe it's too simple, so you think that I'm stupid or something, but I'm not. I just want to explain two ways of thinking. So either we choose to think positively about something, that we learn from it. So my mentor always said, when something happens to you, instead of going victim mode, say, what can I learn from this? That I had that with me. What can I learn from this? Well, have people disappoint you in life? Of course they have. People are people. They will disappoint you, because most people, they are not doing personal development. Most people are not, in it for the good or for helping other people. Most people, they are there for themselves or for whatever. So people will disappoint, because people are people. It's when we think that people not will disappoint us, it will come as a disappointment. Anyway, so we can't change in yesterday, and we can't change in tomorrow. We can't live in yesterday and tomorrow. So the power of thought is in the now. That's why it's so important to understand that you are in charge. You are in charge of your day. You choose your actions. But then people go, well, I don't get it. Well, that's why you got to have a plan. You got to have a system to follow. Because when you have a system to follow, you can have a system in the business to follow, but you can also have a system for yourself. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about habit, creating a habit. So I created a system. This is how it works. My mentor, he taught me to read, because I wasn't reading anything. He taught me to have a notebook. He taught me to take notes. He said, you got to write a plan of what to do for the next day. So when you wake up in the morning, you already have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, you will fit in someone else's plan, he explained. So I didn't understand it when he taught me that, but he taught me to use the notebook to make plans. And when I started to making those plans, what to do for the next day, I created a habit, which I'm still using today, 30 plus years later. Do you think that helped me when I was doing business? Of course it did. Because the biggest thing for people is to change. They have bad habits that needs to change to good habits. So we only have one thought at a time. So then it's pretty important what we are thinking in that now. So we can't waste it on negativity. We can't afford to waste it on negativity. It doesn't matter what happened. You choose to steer that thought into something new, positive, or victimhood. So this is how it works. Your life is your everyday choices. You choose if you want to go left or if you want to go right. What is left or right? Well, if you put fear on the left side and you put love on the right side, or love can be caring, action, discipline, all the good things, it's on the right side, and all the bad things are on the left side. So your bad habits, okay, hold on. Your bad habits is on the left side. So procrastination, lack of action, thinking negativity, or blame game. It's on the left side. On the right side is all the good things: discipline, setting goals, reading books, listening to educational webinars like this, taking action. All the good things is on the right side, and on the left side is all the bad things. And it's your choice, your everyday choice. And then you would go, well, I don't understand. Well, you will if you keep listening to these Sunday school webinars. So how do we change? Well, everything starts with an idea. Ideas are powerful. Everything that you're using, the whatever you have in your hand to listen to this webinar, started with an idea. I'm not saying that the technology is all good, because it could be used in very, very, very bad ways. But if you understand that you are in control, even there, you can use it as a tool, okay? But everything starts with an idea, and ideas are powerful. Ideas is the essence in the now. And you heard me say that performance comes from the inside, not from the outside. So it does not matter, it does not matter. Like if you ask the millionaire, and he will tell you, I was already rich when I was sitting on the bench and I was homeless, because in my mind I was already rich. The performance comes from the inside, not from the outside. So it doesn't matter how many cars you have, doesn't matter what house you live in, doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank right now, because if you got it the wrong way, you will either lose it or you will not have any help from the material stuff. But if you got it the right way, you can enjoy it, and you will have it, and you will, it will help you. That's the way it works. That's a law of the universe. That's the law of the great law. What we sow is what we reap. So if we take this now and we say, well, so what is it that hold most people back from changing? Well, I can tell you immediately, there's only one thing. You will say, well, it's money, it's time, it's this, it's that. No, it's not. It's not that at all. What holds most people back is fear. And I will tell you, 100%, all the miserable, unsuccessful people live in fear. They make fear-based decisions. And most people have the fear of the unknown. What is that? Well, that is what's going to happen, tomorrow, or around the corner, or, when I do this, what will happen? And people are very, very afraid of that, which is not smart, because why should you walk around and be fearful of anything? We have not come here to be fearful. You're not here to have fear. You're here to be joyous, happy, and free. That's why we listen to these webinars every Sunday. But fear is often installed by someone else. There's someone else that put a bad habit inside your mind. Not that we are blaming them, because we're not. I'm just telling you how it is. We don't choose, or maybe we do, I don't know, but we don't choose our parents or what school to go to, or because we're just there, and they will install stuff inside of us. The teachers, the parents, the people we live with, the people we hang around with, the media. If you look in the newspaper, there's not much good in a newspaper at all. There's a lot of fear, a lot of manipulation, a lot of just, I don't know, lies, a lot of lies. Anyway, so that was my first mentor. He told me, turn the television off, television, he said. Anyway, so faith is going to be installed by you. And, you become as the people you hang around with. Never underestimate that. But the cure is always action. The cure is always action. So any person can become successful, even if they don't understand that they have to change the way they think. If they just change the way they do things, if they just take action, they will change the way they think and they will change their habits. So that's why this expression is so good, that action will change your attitude as much as your attitude will change your actions. So sometimes you see people, they don't really understand why they became successful. They just did things because they were humble enough to just follow instructions, and they did, and bam, they became successful. Then some people get egos and they thought that they did it. They don't understand that they got help from someone else who told them what to do. And if they're not humble enough, they will probably lose it. But anyway, so the cure is action. What kind of action? Any action. Any action. Any action, you said? Yes, any action. How can I become successful by doing the dishes? I'm telling you, doing the dishes is important. Ironing your shirts is important. Making your bed in the morning is important. Swabbing the floor is important. Making those sandwiches is important. All those small things is part of creating habits. All those things is part of discipline yourself. And for that, you need to have those goals. Do you know what you're gonna get and what you're working for and why you're getting up in the morning? When you're gonna find your why, that's why you get up in the morning. So you understand why you get up in the morning. 90% of the population on this planet doesn't know why they get up in the morning. And you go, well, what? Well, they have a job, you tell me. Yeah. They don't know why. They just go there because they get paid enough so they can come back tomorrow and collect another check. They have no clue why. They don't have a why because they're working for someone else's dream. So your life is your everyday choices. And indecisiveness. You see how this connects to what I said recently, that the cure is action, because indecisiveness leads to fear. So when people don't take action, let's say someone is offered a business deal, oh, you want to do this with me? My mentor said, say yes, because you can always change later, he said. But most people, they don't say yes. They say, oh, I don't know, I maybe have to think about it, or I got to ask my wife, or, I don't know, no, I feel a little bit insecure, because they have fear of the unknown instead of just do it. And then if they realize, well, this wasn't too good, or this wasn't, fun, then change, do something else. You're not a tree, are you? You don't have roots, you can move. But indecisiveness is fear-based. It will create more fear in you. And that's why people are not successful. Because first of all, they have fear. Then the fear leads to indecisiveness, so they get more fear. And it's a self-playing piano. So only you can change yourself. I can give you this lesson that you get for free, which is worth a lot of money. You know, there's some people don't understand how valuable. Maybe they think, oh, that Peter Jakobbson, you know, I'm tired of his talk and blah, blah, you know, fine. You know, I never get tired of Jim Rohn. I'm not saying that I'm Jim Rohn, but I never get tired of personal development. You know why? I find it so interesting, and I know I can learn something from anyone, any day, all the time. There's stuff to learn. You can pick up pieces here and there. You know, you're picking up the golden nuggets. So, but you know, some people have huge egos, so they find stuff to annoy them, or you know, whatever. It's not my problem. How could it be? Can only change me. So you can change you. Only you can change you. So what's the cure? Discipline. You know, because when you set goals and you make a plan and you write those things down that I was told by my mentor to write, you know, right, he said, write 6 things before you go to bed every night that you're going to do the next day. It could be 10 things, but he said, write 6 things down. So I started doing that. And do you think I forgot some days? Of course I did. But the thing is not to forget or miss out. The thing is to get back on the course again, because that's how a jet airline flies. It's 99% out of course, but it gets back on course. That's the same thing. We got to use discipline. We don't feel like it. We don't have the time. We think we don't have the time. We don't have the urge. We don't want to, but we just do it. And when we do it, whatever it is, that will create character. That will start creating those good habits that we will have use for the rest of our life. Because it's only education is the key. That's what, you know, right now you're sitting listening. Right now, I'm telling you, this couple, whatever, 20 minutes, whatever it's been, you have already got some new information that maybe you heard it before, maybe you heard it 10 times before, but right now in this moment, you got it. That's how our brains work. That's why it's so important to just re-listen and listen again and again and again and again. Education breeds confidence. When we educate it, we have more confidence. When we have confidence, we have more hope. And when we have hope, we have serenity. And that's what every person on this planet is looking for, serenity. And only study and practice will get you rich. So you study, then you practice, then you study, then you practice. Or you practice, and then you study. So you see, this is a game called Planet Earth. And the game is that if you're not moving, you're going backwards. What? What is he saying now? I'm saying if you're not taking action, you're actually going backwards. So standing still is not standing still, it's going backwards. That's why you never ever should listen to people who haven't done anything, because how can they know how to help us if they haven't done anything themselves? They're actually standing still for a long time. That means they've been going backwards. And they don't have to deal with the consequences of not doing stuff that you have to deal with. So you have to deal with the consequences for not doing things. If you take advice from someone who can't take it to the next level, they don't have to deal with the consequences. You have to. So you should never, ever listen to someone who can't take you to the next level. It's empiric knowledge, I'm telling you. That's the most important thing of almost everything that is. Never listen to them. So I can see that we're closing in. You know, technology are here for better or for worse, but the last great battle will not be in the battlefield. It will be in the minds of man. So you better get a great relationship with these principles and where it comes from before it's too late. It's actually never too late, but you know, time's flying. That was what we had for today. And we will see each other next Sunday. So until then, have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are, if it's in the morning or in the afternoon or in the midday. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and go out in the world and help people